wish is your command. Someone in the comments section asked if I could do entitled grooms. Since I do entitled bridezillas and bridesmaids, they wanted entitled groom stories. So I got some for you today. In the meantime though, grab your beverage of choice. You already know the drill. If it is a little alcoholic beverage, 2 sips, because 1 is for me, because I film sober, believe it or not. Cheers. Some of y'all like to think I'm drunk. No, I'm just hyper some days, y'all. I'm just a little crazy. This groom shocked a guest at the ceremony when he gave the speech, which even included references to gagging and headboard slamming. Oh my God. And social media users rushed to the comments as they slammed Michael for his humiliating vows, but his wife Destiny has since leapt to his defense, arguing, "I knew what I was getting myself into," and claiming her husband is too good for her. Girl, I don't know about that. We got a video clip of the vows. I'm pumped for this, let me tell you. Oh, this is gonna be juicy.
Since the day we started talking, after falling through my bedroom window, within minutes I could tell you were the one for me. Then as time went on and I was falling deeper in love with you,
okay.
I was and always will be one of the easiest people to please. Only 2 things are required to keep me happy: keep my belly full and my balls empty. Though you're amazing at half of it, we really need to get you some cooking lessons. Even when my belly isn't full, there is no one I could ever love more in this lifetime, unless I actually get a chance to meet Margot Robbie. Since the beginning, I always told you I was going to make you the happiest woman in the world and give you everything I could possibly give. Well, today I'm taking a step further and giving you my last name, the last name of champions. No one deserves it more. With you and the girls by my side, I feel like I can conquer anything.
Oh my God, you have daughters?
Y'all make life worth living, giving every breath of every day a purpose. Life gets even better when the kids fall asleep and you tell me to come to the bedroom. Nothing's better than the sound of gagging and headboard slamming.
Michael.
Everyone keeps telling me that marriage is going to ruin a lot of things, but I feel that's only if you let it. Even if we fight, argue, or don't see eye to eye on something, it'll never affect the way I love you. Marriage is something I take seriously and I only want to do once. After almost 10 years, I still stand by the fact that you're my soulmate and it'll never change. After today, the only thing changing is me having to deal with the ring on my finger. You will forever have my heart, and that's a promise till death do we part. P.S. Since you're so good at making decisions like marrying me, you can choose whether tonight's going to end with being a toaster, strudel, or a Twinkie.
Alrighty. I'm speechless. You're so really? Being that I am his mom, I will deal with him later. He is grounded. By all means.
Ew. First of all, Margot Robbie would never. Be so for real with yourself. You don't stand a fucking chance, number 1. Number 2! I mean, honestly, there's like number 100. Maybe that's your guys' humor and all kudos to you. That's great. I think there's a time and place. I would feel very disrespected if my man went up there and that was our vows. And also, like our parents, like my parents in the room, my father? Are you kidding me? No. I think you went a little too far there, bud. I am a DJ and 3 years ago I did the music for the wedding reception of the brother of an internationally known pop singer. The singer, I am sorry, but I will not be saying who, as it would get back to him and I want to keep working in showbiz circles, but you're putting the story on the internet, was best man and got most of the attention from everybody on the day. Anywho, I was on stage playing the tunes and about an hour before the end of the night, the groom came over to me with the chief bridesmaid and asked me quietly if there was anywhere they could go to out of the way where they could hang out with their friend Charlie. I've heard this before. That's code for a substance, is it not? I pointed to the storeroom where all the spare tables and chairs were stored and went back to playing the tunes. About 10 minutes later, the bride approached me and asked if I had seen her new husband around. Now, I didn't want to get involved in any drama between a man and his wife, so I lied and said I didn't know where he was, and she wandered off to look outside the hall. I put the next song on and nipped to the storeroom to warn the groom that his wife was looking for him. When When I got there, I like that he's like, I don't want to get involved, but I'm very involved. When I got there, I walked through the door and discovered that the groom had found a novel way of making sure the substance, Charlie, got into the bridesmaid's system, if you know what I mean. They were hooking up. I just blurted out that his wife was looking for him and took off back to my decks. He emerged from behind the stage curtain about 2 minutes later, looking very flustered, and rejoined the party on the floor. The chief bridesmaid came out a minute later, not looking at me at all, and I watched her head straight for the exit, not to be seen for the rest of the night. It was a good night, and the B&G couldn't thank me enough, the bride and groom couldn't thank me enough at the end, and the groom looked me straight in the eye just a little too long when he handed me a $100 tip. Well, for someone who didn't want to get involved, definitely got involved. That's disgusting. Not you, the groom. The groom's disgusting, and the bridesmaid. Shame on you. You're both gross. I was dating this guy, and his sister sent out wedding invitations for the wedding in Hawaii. Oh, I would love to be in Hawaii. His mother offered to pay for us to attend, so the two of us and his parents flew out. At the airport, the happy couple greeted us, and we all went to dinner. There were lots of toasts and happy memories, and quite a few of her family members attended this dinner. The day of the wedding, my then boyfriend and I were woken up to frantic banging on our hotel room door. It was his mom crying. Long story short, the groom-to-be let the bride know that he would not be attending the wedding. Oh, now you want to let me know that? Turns out, dude never sent his family invites because he knew long before the wedding that he was going to bail. Oh, he just finally did it on the wedding day itself. What a wild trip that was. What a little wimp. Are you kidding me? You knew you weren't gonna marry me and you flew to Hawaii and pretended you sent invites, or pretended, oh, my parents can't make it, all to just bail on the day of. Save yourself the money and the time, sir, and just dump me. Are you kidding? A man from South Africa is being reviled as a groomzilla on social media after a video of him being disrespectful and combative while saying his wedding vows surfaced on the internet. But the groom doesn't see anything wrong with the way he conducted himself at his weekend nuptials and said that he is not sorry. Great. We don't have a video for this, but we do have the quotes. Pastor. Oh, I should read it. Through the good times and the bad times. We've been through that. You can't leave her in bad times. What if she leaves me? She will also take the vows. If she will make an oath, it is fine, no problem. The pastor asks the groom to repeat the vows, saying, for richer or for poorer, to which the groom responds, we are poor anyway. The pastor responds, stop ruining your wedding. In the middle of the video, a guest is seen getting up and urging the groom to just repeat what the pastor is saying, but he gets combative with her too. The pastor then asks the groom to repeat, in sickness and in health, to which he responds, we are sick already. Later in the video, the groom seems to take a swipe at his own bride when the pastor says, till death do us part, and the groom brazenly responds, only her cheating ways can break us apart. As the crowd boos, he explains, I don't want to lie and say till death do us part. When she cheats, what will I say? Why are you even getting married at that point? Like, to him and her. As the bride, I'd be like, why are we even doing this? You clearly don't want to be here. My sister was the maid of honor at a wedding where the bride's father didn't like the groom. Ooh. A fight broke out and the bride's father, uncle, brother, the groom, his father and brother were arrested. I lost track of how many people were arrested in that sentence. The bride spent her wedding night at my house crying her eyes out. They divorced about 2 years later. Awesome. Awesome. What an awful, awful day. That many people got arrested. That must have been a full ass brawl. That's an episode of Jerry Springer right there. The priest called the bride by the wrong name for the entire 2-hour-long ceremony. Was it like an ex-girlfriend's name or just a random wrong name? That does matter, trust me.
Thank thee, Rachel. Emily.
The poor bride corrected the priest each time, the first 10 times or so. The priest was the groom's uncle. The groom never corrected him. Ooh, Woo. Eventually, the bride looked like she had tears in her eyes and was going to start bawling, so she stopped correcting him. The priest just kept using the wrong name through the end of the ceremony. Ooh, I feel like this is a big debate, you guys. I think the groom should have absolutely said something, especially because it's like, that's family. That's your uncle. Why would I want all my vows read out to a name that's not mine? I might as well not even be there. Oh, good God, do I have one. My fiance's mother got married. Why is that in quotations? I say married, haha, because he and I didn't find out that it wasn't a real wedding until months later. My mother-in-law is usually a sweet lady. Albeit she was done, what did I just say? She has done some effed up things recently. Anyway, her husband is not my cup of tea. He came into the relationship with 2 kids, one with pretty severe autism and the other he refuses to admit is on the spectrum. The day of the wedding, he tells us we need to set up. So we get ready. It took about an hour because I hadn't been given the chance to shower. He was pissed. I apologized because it was still hours before the wedding and didn't realize we needed to leave so quickly. We got to the venue and this man expected me, my fiance, and his 2 children to set up. It was a state park. So we had to unload tables and chairs, set up a bar, move picnic tables, etc. It was a very extensive job. We were hot and sweaty. Note, we were never asked or thanked. So you were just expected to, nor did we know that we were responsible for setting up until the day of. It was overwhelming and we had no clue what they wanted it to look like. As you can imagine, his child with the worst autism has a meltdown. And what does this man do? He screams bloody murder. He rips off his son's headphones to yell at him. He grabs him by the collar to yell in his face. I started crying. I was so uncomfortable. He starts to come towards me to yell and my fiance gives him a look that stops him in his tracks. I stopped, walked over to the bar, poured myself a glass of vodka, and stood there crying and drinking. Good times. Yeah, I don't like this man either. Sounds like this groom sucks. Also, it wasn't a real wedding, so you did all of this for a wedding that wasn't even real? That's a different level of anger that I would have towards this man. My husband picked up a shift at work on our wedding night. Couldn't get the day off? What do you mean? Don't worry though, he didn't actually end up working on our wedding night. He was just cheating. Oh, I should have known. I found that out way later. It was COVID and I discovered later by going through his phone finally after the most suspicious behavior in the world that he wasn't actually going to work like a third of the time he claimed, and actually he hadn't been faithful ever with anyone he was with. Oh, yeah, he's the ex. Funny enough, recently he tried to beg me back and I just sent it all to his current girlfriend, the main side, who actually blew up her own marriage to be with this fool. Oh my gosh. It's only been a few months and he's already trying to backwards cheat on her. What even is that? That is a serial cheater. That is a piece of shit. That's what that is. One of my good friends from high school moved away and another good friend and I traveled to another state to be there. We didn't see her before the reception. At the reception, we were watching while her husband got drunk and proceeded to verbally attack her and call her names for no reason at all. We told her she could come to our hotel, come back with us, etc. She just said that it was okay. We wanted to teach him a lesson, but we didn't. That's really sad when you see someone in a relationship where someone's being treated poorly and disrespectfully. And it's like you can only do so much from the outside as a friend, and to know that they're in that, or they even might not see it as being wrong, or they know it's wrong but they're not strong enough to leave. That's truly sad. I was all set to be the best man for my friend's wedding. It was going to be a small wedding at their church with lunch afterward. At 7:30 the morning of the wedding, the groom called me and told me the wedding was canceled, and he said that he would call me and explain later. He didn't call me the next day, or the next, or the next. After that, he just dropped off the face of the earth and I never saw him again. What? The bride didn't want to discuss it. I called his dad and he said the groom had left town for boot camp. It was a really weird situation. I don't even know what to think of that. Did he cheat? Did she cheat? Did they break up? Was some kind of scam involved? That's sketchy behavior. All right, y'all, if you have a crazy groom story, let's hear it. We check out a lot of bridezillas and crazy bridesmaids. Let's hear it. Any like crazy groom ones? Honestly, there's never drama with men in wedding parties. Not very often. Not like bridezillas. So if you got any stories, Let's hear them. I'm out of here though. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy, and I'll see you tomorrow.